So today is Monday the 17th of July, and I am going to be in court on Wednesday. I'll be in court for Insulate Britain, sitting on a motorway and demanding that this government insulates our leaky homes. I'm expecting that the judge won't be kind. And when I say kind, I mean enable the protest to continue, i.e., allowing us to say and do what we must as we try to avert this climate catastrophe that is engulfing the world right now. Scientists everywhere are alarmed at the rate of the escalation. And here's me in England, a 57-year-old woman who has seen the truth about the climate emergency and is prepared to do something in her capacity, using the privilege of being somebody living in a country where I know I won't be killed if I do this. I might get sent to prison. I'll get fines, injunctions, but I won't be killed. So I must do this. Everything else is absolutely doable. So I'm doing it. And I received the email. So this is activism I've done in 2021. It was the first time I was arrested. I was arrested 13 times. I had a bit of PTSD after, but I was absolutely determined to do what I could once I realized that I had the courage to actually step up and out and not just stay comfortable, as it were. Anyway, the judge at the time when I pled guilty, because I pled guilty to all my charges because I wanted to be free to continue the fight. But it backfired on me because the judge, when it was my turn to go in front of the judge, he basically said he's not going to be sentencing me until he's sentenced everyone that has pled not guilty, i.e. those who were going to go through the trial process. So I've been waiting for a long time for the sentencing, and now it's here. And I was emailed last week to say I should have been in court on the 13th. And since then, they've moved it twice. So from the 20th, and now it's on the 19th. So I thought I'd just share with you my activities of this week, since I've known about the fact that I might end up back in prison next Wednesday when I face court. So I have co-founded One Planet Abingdon, which some of you might know, the climate emergency centre in my town, and I do a lot of work for the centre. So I've been spending a lot of time handing over my responsibilities to ensure that whilst I'm away, things still move forward. Part of that was attending a couple of meetings, one of which was with all the Christian faiths in Abingdon, in Ox Street in Abingdon, talking to all the different leaders of the churches, the Christian churches. I had already spoken to the Muslim, the Hindu, the Baha'i, Quaker, peace group representation. They are all on board in terms of working together as a community to see what we can create, as it is a climate emergency and we need to do something. So here I am. This is a meeting with the Christian churches. They've known about me coming for the last 2 months, and I'm told I've got 10 minutes with some Q&A. Well, the 10 minutes was over an hour in the end, and it was a very intense and emotional session bearing my soul, basically begging for support, trying to help them to understand what we are facing and what our responsibilities are as moral human beings. So we'll see where that goes. I was absolutely shattered after. There's no indication as yet as to how they will respond, i.e., are they going to come alongside us and be a part of this initiative or not. So that was the one thing I did this week. I felt like I'd done a good job, even though I was very emotional and did burst into tears in the car. The other thing I've done this week past was to lead on supporting 7 students from 2 different schools in One Planet Abingdon. So they were doing their work experience with us. And so they were coming into the Climate Emergency Centre as work experience students, and they agreed that they would create a survey, which they did, and we had 131 responses, and it was evident when we analysed the results of their survey that the people in Abingdon, there are still some who don't believe the climate emergency is real. They don't really have an understanding of how the climate emergency is affecting them. And they certainly don't have a good understanding of what climate justice is. So that was work well done. And I'm very grateful to those 7 students who managed to achieve that in a week. Okay, it is only 131 responses, but it's a snapshot of what the feeling is out there and what the understanding is out there in Abingdon. Another appointment that I had this week, which was hastily cobbled together, was an appointment with one of the local councillors who came to visit One Planet. And that was encouraging insofar as I just shared my story, shared my activities, and explained my role at One Planet, and hopefully inspired the councillor to get more involved with us. So that was worth doing. And then I spent some time with my family because I might end up in prison on Wednesday. So I took 2 days on the weekend to see my son, one of my sons, my mother-in-law, my grandson, and part of the conversations, which of course must be had, is, why I'm doing this, and because it's still something that is a debate in the household, an extended household, as to, why am I doing this? Because there's no point and I'm just pissing people off. So we had a heated debate around that, and it was very emotional because I still feel like I'm hitting my head against a brick wall. And my 90-year-old mother-in-law, I realized I can't actually have those conversations with her anymore. It's too painful. I can see how upset she gets because she loves me, and I think she's worried and she doesn't quite get it. So I realized this weekend that maybe that was the last time that she and I would have this conversation, unless, of course, she brings it up, and then I will engage because I must. Yeah, so today I have sat and done a little bit of research, just looking at what's out there in terms of the climate crisis today. And it's horrific. It's terrifying. And I need to write a mitigation statement for court. And what do I say? I'm going to say it like it is. I'm going to say, this is me using my body. I don't regret 1 ounce of disruption. It's not fun. It's not nice to do, but it's a moral duty. And so therefore there is no regret, and I will do it again. I will challenge the judge and say that he has an opportunity to actually step outside of business as usual and acknowledge that our legal system is out of date for the challenges that we are being faced with right now, and that if he doesn't stand up and acknowledge that, who's going to? It's his duty. We know that laws become outdated and then we have to change them. Case in point, apartheid, the suffragettes and the vote, racial hatred, all these very important things that make us who we are, humanity. So yeah, I'm not going to be frightened. I'm going to be strong, and I'm actually so grateful. Actually, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be this person that is able to stand up and say, I can do this because it's the right thing to do. I don't know if it's going to make any change. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I must do it anyway. I must. So thank you for listening. I just felt the need to share this. I'm going to send it out there into the social media platforms, and hopefully people will listen to my message, my story, my week. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.